Welcome back to ZK1 Plays. I'm so glad that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about Mega Victreebel, looking at some possible shiny forms as well as some abilities and stat distributions. And what are we getting into with this one? I can't wait to see. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right into the video. Please make sure to like this video, comment down below what you're most looking forward to about Mega Victreebel. Also, subscriptions help me so much, especially as I'm pushing toward 1,000 subscribers here as a smaller YouTube channel. Please help me out if you can. And now, without further ado, let's get right into what we're going to be looking at today, Mega Victreebel. Now, Mega Victreebel was revealed just a couple of weeks ago with a really interesting trailer, including all the purple, sweet scent smoke that's just like going through the building, and then of course like the horror type of video that was revealed with it. If you haven't seen that, please go check it out. I highly recommend. It was very, very funny for me to watch for the first time. Was not expecting that to be the Pokemon revealed, but that brings us kind of to our first main point that we need to look at. When looking at Mega Victreebel, what are they going to do with its ability? Now, when you look at this Pokemon, you can tell it's very round, very plump, right? And it kind of bounces around as well, instead of more of the floaty look of the other Pokemon that we've had in this evolution tree. And then secondly, I also want to mention it clearly has a lot more to do with poison than it's ever had to do before. Now, I know that we've definitely had Pokedex entries and stuff talking about Victreebel having poison in its gut and in its belly, and it swallows things and dissolves them in the poison. We already knew that, but this thing is like spilling poison everywhere. A couple other things I want to mention as well, in case this is a little bit of spoilers for the stats that we're going to discuss here in a minute. But before we get to the stats, wanted to mention, Victreebel has a kind of middling speed stat, which is why it has this chlorophyll ability. Well, it occurs to me that it may not be chlorophyll for the Mega Evolution. Now, very well could be. Lots of times they just staple that onto grass types. So I guess we'll have to wait and see to find out. But here are some ideas of some abilities I've had that they could give to Mega Victreebel, which may have an even bigger impact on the way that things are going to go for that Pokemon. Now, we haven't got quite to the stats yet, but I'm expecting Mega Victreebel to have a little bit of bulk to it, and yet still have a focus on attacking. And so let's look at some different abilities. The first one that came to mind when I was looking through these abilities was the stench ability. Now, the problem is Mega Victreebel, if it's going off of its base stat or even a little bit more, it's not going to be a very fast Pokemon. And so having this ability, a 10% chance to cause the opponent to flinch by using a damaging move, does not seem like it would be that great for it, despite it being a very poison-related ability. So I have a couple others that I wanted to mention before we get going. The first one is Aroma Veil. This is a ability that's actually pretty decent. Okay, here's how it works. Protects allies from attacks that limit their move choices. So that would put Mega Victreebel in a very supportive spot. It also kind of connects with the sweet scent move that apparently it's known for, and all that poison spilling out all over the place, right? Aroma Veil would protect its partner Pokemon from being affected by things that limit their move choice. So this is specifically like Torment, Taunt, Encore, things of that nature would not be able to go off with Mega Victreebel having this ability. A couple other ones that I've thought of as I've been looking through here is the Sweet Veil ability. This prevents this Pokemon and its allies from falling asleep, for example, like Hypnosis. This has been a rather restricted ability, going to only Alchemy and Slurpuff, and then as a hidden ability to the Cutie Fly line and the Bound Sweet line. And so for most of these other Pokemon, you don't really run Sweet Veil a lot. But on Mega Victreebel, again, looking at it as more of a supportive type of Pokemon that's meant to stay on the field and do middling to high damage every single turn, and at the same time not be the tankiest boy out there, I think that Sweet Veil would be an incredible ability for this Pokemon. So you have like all the poison type abilities like Poison Point, Poison Touch. You also have the toxic ones like Corrosion or Toxic Chain. I don't think all of those would be used, obviously, but they could be viable. But on Mega Victreebel, one other that really stuck out to me, this is a Gen 9 ability, is the ability Super Sweet Syrup, which I understand, like, for a poison type, that might not be the most, applicable name, but being that we saw Sweet Scent being used in the trailers for it, it very well could be a good ability to go along with it. A sickly sweet scent spreads across the field the first time the Pokemon enters a battle, lowering the evasiveness of opposing Pokemon. You might be wondering, okay, why is that so important? It could be a really neat thing to be able to pop at any moment. Like when Mega Victreebel evolves, all of a sudden Sweet Scent happens and the Pokemon on the opposite side have less evasion. And usually you're not undoing evasion, more you're just making them easier to hit with base moves. So like that combined with Rock Slide or with Hypnosis would be pretty decent if you ask me. Now obviously this may not be what they end up giving to it, and they may have to change the name or something, and they may come up with something completely new for Victreebel. But these are just some thoughts that I've had about the abilities. Next up, I want to talk about the stat spread. You can check out this video that I made here with the different stat lines coming in. First off, regular Victreebel's stats. I get why this Pokemon would have, a Mega Evolution, because look at the stat line. Not a whole lot to be done with it, right? 80, 105, 65, 100, 70, 70. So here's my recommended distribution, and obviously we have no idea what they're going to go with, but usually when a Mega Pokemon is made, they gain 100 stat points. They do not gain any health, and so here is what I came up with. Increasing the attack to 135 and the special attack to 120 to keep with those two being the highest stats on the mon, and then defense to 95 and special defense to 100 with 80 base HP. It's not going to be too tanky, but it will be pretty strong. It's kind of in line with something like Incineroar, although it doesn't have the Intimidate ability that we think. And then the speed, you can see in this case, I actually chose to decrease the speed. This has happened on a few other Mega Evolutions, and I think that we could see it with Mega Victreebel, especially with it going to the bouncing type of movement that we're seeing here. Again, really cool Pokemon. These stats could make it really strong of an attacker, physical attacking grass type / poison type, but also, you could hit pretty hard on the special side as well. A great mixed attacker. But it's just going to be interesting to see how they build it out, because to me, it looks like it's supposed to be a bulkier Pokemon as well. So with the ability like that Super Sweet Syrup, or even something more like I started the ability with, Aroma Veil, Sweet Veil, those kind of things, this would be a great supporting mon. A Pokemon that could take a couple of hits, hit really hard back to the others. But you have to remember too, Mega Evolutions cannot hold items, and so that's obviously going to nerf it just directly as a byproduct. Like it won't be able to have a Focus Sash, won't be able to have a Choice Scarf or a Choice Band or Choice, anything. So it's not going to be able to hit as hard as other Pokemon with these same stats who are able to hold an item, but it still would be a pretty impressive stat line to sit on the field for a few turns. All right, now the part you probably clicked on the video for, let's get into these shiny forms, and let's look at these. Basically, I've created 3 different shiny forms for Mega Victreebel. The first one in the top left is the base form, and then the second one, top right, that is what I think is probably the most likely shiny form. The green one with the blue lips. That one is the shiny form that looks to me most like Victreebel and Victreebel's shiny. Okay, you can see the brown leaves, you see the blue lips, you see the green body, and I think that very well could be what we're looking at for Mega Victreebel. I will say too, I included the, you call it ombre, you call it gradient, whatever, the changing over to red at the tips, just because I think that looks really nice on Mega Victreebel on the left, as you can see, and keeping that slight change of color is really neat on the shiny as well. The other two are just mostly palette swaps, going into a orange, one looking like a fall, fall leaves on its head, a fall type Pokemon. It's pretty cool. And then the blue one to me just reminded me of like the slime or the goo creatures from like Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy. And I think that would be a really funny take on it as well, especially if it's still spewing the purple poison. But I'm thinking the third from the left, the top right, I think that's probably your most likely shiny candidate for Mega Victreebel. All right, that's all I have. I hope that you enjoyed this prediction, just speculation video about Mega Victreebel, and I'm looking forward to this Pokemon coming out. It's going to be really fun to use in battle, and I'm really happy with the design. I think it's quirky. I think it's goofy. I think it's really cool, and so can't wait to get into the games with you just in about a month from now. Thanks for checking out my channel, and I hope that you'll be back in the next one real soon. Peace out.